Hi, welcome to the second step in our Hummingbird Robotics program. I have the kit in front of me, and I have a few other items in front of me as well. Let's go over to look at them. I want to make sure that you have all the necessary parts and pieces. You've got your piece here that you were working on in the previous lesson. You have the battery connected to the Hummingbird. You still have the servo plugged in, and you have some tape, the saw, scissors, pencil or pen, and then a cutter, another cutter. You have scissors as well. I have some here. All right, so let's start. And what our plan is today is we're going to go ahead and plug in one of the LEDs to this. We're going to add it to this little kit here. If we look at our kit, we'll see we have a kind of a bevy of things here. I'm going to get out the green, red, and yellow LEDs right here. So here's green, yellow, and red. So I'm just going to use the green one to start. And I already poked a hole in this piece of cardboard using a pencil. I tried to make it a little smaller than the little LED here so that I could poke it into the back. So I'm going to go ahead and poke it in there so that it sticks. If you need to, you could put a piece of tape on the back. I don't think you're going to need to though. So the next thing you're going to do though is you want to connect the LED to one of the LED inputs there in the yellow right there. You have 1, 2, 3 different LED inputs, which actually push out the light and the signal. So what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that the negative is the black wire, otherwise it won't work. So you have to plug it into the negative. I'm going to use this little tool here. You're going to push on that right there, and you're going to put the black wire into that hole, and you're going to let go shortly. Once it gets in there, you have to make sure that it fits. And there it goes. Then I've got the green one. I'll push that, make sure that fits as well. So both of those are in there, which is great. Next, I'm going to turn on the battery pack. And I see that this thing's moving a little bit already. I still have that taped down. I also note that I am already connected because I connected it earlier. So I'm going to feed over to there's me again, and I'm going to go to the GoPro and the computer. So here we are at the computer, also known as the iPad. And so here on the iPad, I have what we used yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and drag out the green flag again, and I'm going to turn on the LED light. And to do that, I need to drag out the robots section here, bit LED 1. I need 2 of those. I'm going to turn it on and off. At least for now, I'm just going to have it blink. Later on, we'll talk about how you can turn it on and off depending on where the position of the gauge is on your project. So I'll start by making it 100%. You could do like 75 if you want, and the other one's 0%. So we're going to go back and forth between 0 and 100%. I'm going to go to control, and I'm going to do the repeat 10 times, which is my favorite one. I'll drag in the LED right here. And then I need to have it wait a second so I can observe it turning on, and then before it turns off. Then I'll wait another second, so once it turns off, it'll turn back on. So this will repeat 10 times. It's going to turn it on. It's then going to go wait 1 second. Then it's going to turn it off and then wait a second and then repeat that 10 times. So let's head over to the project over here. Here's my project. I'm just going to hit the green flag on the LED. So when I do that, it looks like I have a nice green light here going on and off. Fantastic. So I'm going to now stop it and then push the green flag in the upper right of the iPad and have both things go at the same time. So you can see that they're going at the same time. It's blinking and moving at the same time. This should happen 10 times. Okay? That's great. So what I do want to do though is I'd like to put another light at the other side as the second part of this project. That shouldn't take much time. It's the exact same process. So I placed the other light over here. It's the red one. You can see it poking through the back there. It's the red one's right there. And I placed it in the number 2 position for the LEDs. That is the red one. Note that the positive is red, the negative is black. Make sure that you have that there too. And it is still on, and it's still connected to my program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the program and add another one. So I'm going to drag out the green flag again, and I'm going to basically do the same exact thing as I did before. I'm going to make sure I have all the parts and pieces out. So here we go, LED. The difference now is it's LED number 2. You can see it's port 2 is what you have to select. So the same is true when you come in here, number 2, and then I got to put in the 1 second weights. You can change that if you'd like. You could have 10 or whatever, but this is just a starting point. So right now it's 0 and 0%. I need to change that. Let's make it like 75 and 10. I don't know, something like that. So we have a couple different settings now. All of these should now work when I go back to the robot. Let's take a look at it. I'm going to hit the green flag that turns everything on, and you can see everything is turning on. All right, excellent. That looks great. So it's going back and forth now. What I'd like to try to figure out is how can I set it up so that when it's over here, the green light goes on, and when it's over here, the red light goes on. That's part of the programming. I don't need to plug anything else in here. I'm going to think about the programming. Okay, so the goal was to make the light only turn on when the arrow is next to it. So what we decided to do is, you can see in the program it says repeat 10. I put 1 extra piece in, the broadcast piece. I don't know if you can see that. There's the broadcast green. So when it gets to, as soon as it gets to 180, it's going to broadcast green, which is just kind of a signal in the background you can't hear. It's going to broadcast green. Then when it gets to the next one, it doesn't broadcast anything. The next time it gets to the 180, it's going to broadcast green. So down below right here on this one, it says when I receive green. So this guy's waiting to hear the word green or the broadcast. As soon as that happens, it's going to turn on. So let's see how this works. We'll go back to the machine. I'm going to hit the green button. There it is. It looks like the numbers might be backwards with respect to the degrees, but you understand it's green when it's on there, and it's going to be red when it's on the one on the right. So you had to figure out how to do that.